There's an old saying that if the dog hadn't stopped the shit, he'd have caught the rabbit. It's all about what ifs. If I dug my dahlias up in the winter, they might not have died. Now, you have to dig the dahlias up. It doesn't matter what they say. They are not going to take the frost over winter. There are a couple of varieties, Bishop of Landau, Bishop of York, one or two others, that will take us a little bit of winter frost. But generally, I dig them up. Not only by digging them up, you also are increasing them. You know, you can propagate them, and you'll get several the next year. But you need to know how to do it. It's one of the most asked questions, either here or at Eggleston Hall Gardens. It's just, I get it all the time. How do I store my dahlias? Well, I'm about to show you. You normally do it around about October or November, when the first frosts of winter have blackened the foliage. I'm going to have to kick some dog's ass in a minute. Be quiet. I'm doing business here. You need to cut them back to about 4 inches. Now, the pot, if you've got them in the open ground, which most people will have, they'll look slightly different than this. You need to get the old soil off. I'm going to cut that back a little bit more. Now, here, this is quite a small dahlia. It's only put on 2 main shoots this year, which is odd. But it's been a very odd year. I'm going to take this outside now and wash it off. Get out. You do this in a bucket. You don't want to be using a pressure sprayer. You bugger the tubers up. You just want to get as much of that old soil off as you can. The next thing to do is to give it a rest for a couple of weeks and stand them upside down. All your tubers against a wall, somewhere outside. I would generally put mine against the doors or against this wall, and I would leave them there for a week or two. The reason for doing this is because dahlia stems are hollow. If you can see here, they're hollow down the middle and there's a lot of moisture, and as it dies back, that moisture will go into the dahlia, into the tuber. So by standing them upside down for a week or two outside, it lets them dry off completely, and any moisture will come out through there and they'll dry out inside nicely. It's then a question of putting them in a box. You need to box them for the winter. Any box would do. I just use this plastic one. I don't know I don't even know where it's come from, but it don't really matter. You can use dried peat. You can use old compost as long as it's dried. I've always used wood shavings. They're as good as anything, generally free, and you can chuck them in your chicken house afterwards. There we are. Sit your dahlias in there. Are you getting all this? I would like to point out that this is the second time I'm filming this, because the cameraman buggered it up last time. There we are. Fill up your dahlias, put them in a box. You can get I'd get about 10 in that box, and fill it right up and then pack them tight. The important thing is where you put it. You need to put it somewhere frost-free, like a cellar or an outside shed or a coal shed or just an old potting shed. Anywhere. The place not to put it is a greenhouse. If you put it in a greenhouse, even on the cold days, if the sun comes up, the temperature goes up, and then at night it goes down. It's that fluctuation in temperatures that will bugger the job. That's about it. You put them there until the spring, and they should be fine. April, May, you can get them back out again. We have to use our imaginations here. And then separate off the tubers. This one's fine. You've got one tuber there, and there's a couple of tubers here. I'm going to show you this outside because I need to wash it off a little bit more. Now, you only need one tuber. Tuber is just a storage vessel for nutrition for the next year. You only need one tuber. So with this one, we can get rid of that, and we can take it right down. There we are. Now, while I say that you only need one tuber, you must have a piece of collar. This is the collar here. It's that area around the base of the stem above the tuber. Now, if I had two tubers on there, I could cut that down further. As long as you've got one tuber, that's the tuber there, the lumpy bit, and a piece of collar. You could, you know, if you had, you could get. It just needs to be the smallest piece of collar, because that's where the shoots will come from next year. April, May, you pop that up again into a small pot, and that's Bob's your uncle. That's it. There's no more to it than that. There is one other thing. Some people like to dust their dahlias with a fungicide. Traditionally, we used to use flowers of sulphur, but that's not so much available these days, although I have seen it. So whether it's been banned or not, I don't bloody know, because they're always banning everything these days. But that's it. You can dust them in flowers of sulphur in the autumn and store them like that, and you can dust them again when you put them up in the spring. Simple. Honestly, a bloody monkey could do it. And this is a very weak variety. If you buy one of my dahlias in a pot, like I've just shown you, you can get maybe 10, 12 tubers with a piece of collar off of each one. So it'll be dahlia'd out next year. There's no reason to excuse yourself from it. It's easy. Even that weak dahlia has given me 3 good clumps. Because that's about all I want to do on that subject, because I'm bored with it, having done it bloody twice.